Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today my client has come in and she's had these nails on for around 4 weeks. It could possibly be slightly longer than that. So we're going to start off and sanitize her hands and my hands. I'm then taking this extra coarse safety bit from Nail Dot Supplies and I'm going to remove the old design. I am, excuse me, sorry. I have this on full speed and I'm pressing quite hard and it just whips off that acrylic in seconds and really cuts down that filing time when you're doing redesigns, especially when you're taking off acrylic designs. I will leave the link where you can get that in the description box. So I'm going to do this on all 10 fingers and then we will come back and carry on our prep. So after most of the design has been removed with the extra coarse bit, I will then go in with a finer bit and just remove the remaining of that design, just so we're not going to cause any discomfort to our client. I'm then going in with this Skittles cuticle bit and going around the cuticles. I'm then going to take my sanding band and just tickle that new growth and go over the surface of the remaining acrylic. Then I'm going to remove any lifting with my hand file and just buff that acrylic into the natural nail so that there's no lines or steps, and then go over the reshape as well, just so we have something to work off and there's not loads of filing at the end. When you're removing lifting, you want to file behind the white space of the lift, and then it should just come away and then the rest will be blended into the natural nail. You really want to make sure you get rid of any lifting at all. Do not leave any on there. If you really are struggling, just soak off the nail. Don't bother trying to infill if you really can't do it, because you're going to end up with greenies and stuff like that. So absolutely, if you can't do it or you're struggling, go get some extra training or some support, or just soak off the nail. It's really not an issue. But just, yeah, really pay attention to getting that acrylic nice and flush in with that natural nail. When that's all done, I will go ahead and really scrub those nails clean. As you can see here, I am using dehydrator. It's a prep spray plus, so it's got dehydrator and all that stuff in and alcohol. And then I'm scrubbing with a manicure brush to scrub really well. I'm then going to go in with my acid bond from CJP and apply one coat of this to all of the nails, but just on that new growth area. Remember with your acid bond as well that less is definitely more. It's not always necessary to apply a second coat, only if you really have clients that are proper, like, you know, problem lifters. I'm then going in with CJP Birthday Suit and I'm applying this at that cuticle area and the infill area and blending down towards the free edge, because we're just going to go with a nice plain simple glitter ombre set today. So I'm going to do this on all 10 fingers. I'm just placing that bead at the cuticle area and then tilting the client's finger downwards and then trying to really blend that acrylic into that natural nail, making sure I'm brushing over it, nice strokes to keep it nice and, you know, flush, and the application as neat as I can with the brush, so that we're not going to do millions of filing at the end, if that even is literally making sense. So yeah, I'm going to do this on all of the fingers. And then I will go back and go straight in with our glitter. So the glitter that I'm using is CJP Silver Hollow. It is a pre-mixed holographic stunner. It's just beautiful. I'm then going to dip into some raw glitter that is called Magic Mix, and that's on the CJP website also. And I'm just blotting that into the wet glitter acrylic that I've already applied. I'm not picking it up with any product. I'm literally just using my wet brush, and then that just gives it a beautiful, defined, just stunning, sparkly set of nails. My client wanted something Christmassy but not over Christmassy. She works a lot and her hands and nails take an absolute beating, so we didn't want to go all out crazy, so I just said, look, let's go with a nice simple glitter fade and stick a couple of snowflakes in. So she was really happy with this, and I absolutely loved the finished set. It was so beautiful and the glitter is absolutely stunning. She was so mesmerised and it looks so much better in person. But the way I'm picking up my bead of silver acrylic, just placing it at that free edge, and then as you can see, blending it and blotting it around that nail, just to make sure it's nice and thin and nice and flush, because you are going to have to cap this as well. But one bit of advice I will give you is when you are doing redesigns, you can always file from underneath if the tip or free edge becomes a little bit bulkier than you'd like. So I'm going to repeat this process on all of the fingers. As you can see, it's really thin. I'm working really thin. I'm not applying any bulk or any thickness or anything or any structure or anything. I'm literally just using this for design. And because it's glitter, it's more forgiving than if you were using a block colour. And then I'm going to stick a snowflake on there, and then we're going to go back and cap. So moving back now, taking my crystal glass acrylic, placing it at that cuticle area, and then just walking it down and capping all that glitter. I'm not leaving any much of this bulk at the apex area. These nails are super short, so I don't need a massively high apex, and we already have that cover pink at that cuticle area, so I'm more just covering for, you know, so I don't file away any of that glitter. But because it's silver based anyway and it's a silver glitter, it's not a massive issue if you were to file into it just a little bit. And then my client decided she would like a snowflake on the ring finger as well. As you know, these snowflakes can be a right pain in the ass when you want to get them flat, because they're so flat they don't lay flush to the natural nail. But sometimes even if you do hit into them with your file, it doesn't look majorly awful. So I'm just going to repeat this process on all of the fingers. So then we're going to move on to the filing after all 10 fingers were finished and this hand is nice and ready to file. So I'm going in with this bit that I got from eBay, and it is just a flat head blue carbide finishing bit. So I'm going around the cuticle area and the side walls, and then underneath the nail to get that nice C-curve back, and taking off any like excess bulk or anything like that from underneath. And then I'm just going over the nail just slightly. As you can see, I'm not taking a lot off here. In fact, I'm hardly taking anything off. I'm just debulking around areas that we don't want any bulk, especially with it being a redesign. So when I'm done with the E-file and I'm happy with, you know, the flushness of the cuticle area and sidewall application, I will go in with my hand file. So I'll do the sidewalls and the free edge, and then I will just contour that nail to make it all perfect. Go round one side, down the cuticle area, make sure my cuticle area is flush, and then come back around the other side, checking all angles of the nail from the barrel, from the side view, from your client's view. Every single view that is possible of that nail, get it. I mean, I know sometimes, excuse me, my voice is still not quite back. I know sometimes when you've been sat there and you've done all your application and it comes to filing and it can be like, oh, just get it over with. But really do pay attention and you will notice such a difference in your shaping and your finished result. Just really, I can't stress enough, just focus on every single viewpoint of that nail and make sure it looks amazing from all angles. After all the nails were finished filed, I go ahead and remove all of the dust using my manicure brush again, and wiping it all away really thoroughly. You don't want any of the dirt or anything in your top coat. And please excuse that stupid one nail I have on my hand. You know, as nail techs, we get so busy this time of year that we just don't get a chance to do our own, and our own hands get neglected. Well, mine definitely do anyway. But I will cure this in the lamp for 60 seconds and then I'm going to go ahead and apply cuticle oil to her nails, making sure they're all nice and replenished. And then that's the final result, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed watching. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do. I love you all. Bye bye.